Hey, what's up guys? NullRage here, taking a little bit of a break from Fallout 4 and my subsequent Fallout 4 induced coma to have a look at the new hero that's joining the Marvel Heroes roster, and that's Magik. I had initially thought she wasn't coming till December, but apparently she has swapped places with Iron Fist, and I'm personally thrilled. I hope you guys I know some of you guys will have opinions one way or the other. I'm looking forward to Iron Fist too, but Magik, holy crap, man, she's looking pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and hop in and have a look at her skills. First things first, we've got her synergy here is going to be level 25 is going to give you 15 spirit, and level 50 is going to give you 5% damage to slowed targets. This is the same thing that the level 25 for Loki gives you, which couples up, to give you 10% damage against slowed targets. It's going to make it even more, that's 5% damage, which is more than you can get in a lot of other synergy places. Now they have started adding the raw stats to synergies with Ant-Man and War Machine, giving you strength and fighting respectively. So, that's pretty nice, but this 5% damage is pretty huge, making that a very nice passive, and probably making you want to find some ways to slow targets. If your character does not have a way of slowing targets themselves, then maybe look into Omega points or items that can proc a slow and increase your damage by that 5%. Alright, so her powers. Now, she's got this interesting mechanic. It's called Command. Command is spent to increase Magik's combat potential, summoning demons, consuming the essence of the demons through Dark Pact, and toggling on the effects of Eldritch Armor and Mastery of the Soul Sword. So, she's got 8 pips of Command, and her different skills that use them are these, pretty much anything in Limbo here. Her Lesser Demons, Fist of Nastir, Spitting Demons. And you can see she can summon out a Lesser Demon. She can summon out a Spitting Demon. She can summon out the Fist of Nastir himself. Or she can also toggle it on with Dark Pact to destroy all of them. Or even Nastir. So we've got a lot of really awesome demon summoning stuff, and we'll go over what all of them do. But she can also toggle them this Dark Pact thing to consume them and eat them, and use that for a passive bonus if you don't want to play Summoner. Alright, so let's jump in and have a look at what her skills actually do. We'll start over here with a Soul Sword. We got Soul Slashing as a basic attack. Let me get the rest of this on the bar. Alright, so Soul Slashing is mental damage, restore 2 spirit per strike, attack speed. It's just your average basic. Alright, next up we've got 7 League Step. Now this one's pretty awesome. I really love this skill. It's a lot like Blink Strike from Nightcrawler or 7 League Step. She actually has it as her team-up version. Very cool. And it can even be powered up through Mastery of the Soul Sword, which we'll talk about in a bit. Alright, Rending Swings. Well, actually, we jumped over Stepping Disc. This is a very nice teleport skill that she gets at level 1. She can do this from level 1. Lots of very quick movement, and it's also got the effect on it that every 3 seconds it will do that Stepping Disc to do some damage in the area that you land. So, it's not just a traversal skill, it can also do some extra damage. Very nice. And you get this at level 1. This skill, Soul Slashing, and Spirit Fangs, and Lesser Demon are all available to you at level 1, and it makes her a very fun character to level from the beginning, I'd say. Alright, Rending Swings, that's next up, right? Alright, mental damage, regenerate some health on hit, and it will do extra damage if you have Eldritch Armor or Mastery of the Soul Sword. It's going to be right here, Mastery of the Soul Sword, which is going to boost your melee damage attacks, and Eldritch Armor is somewhere over here. Here we go. Eldritch Armor will also use 3 command, so we'll have a look at that in a little bit. It looks like it's going to be a defensive toggle if you want to do that. Alright, Next up, we've got Levitating Disc, which is going to be very similar to Sue Storm's disc, except it's got some interesting limbo magic going on. Very cool. This is going to be her flight power. The animation is a little stiff right now, but I'm sure they'll liven that up before launch. Alright. Next up, we've got Sorceress Eruption. It's going to do some mental damage, immobilize, and weaken. It's got a cooldown of 8 seconds. Plunge your sword into the ground. Limbo spill cracks. Alright, let's have a look. Alright, so anything in this area is going to be weakened. You'll probably want to use that every 8 seconds to, reduce your incoming damage by 10% and also do some nice AoE burst in the process. Probably really nice for a really solid melee build. Alright, next we've got Soul Cleaving. Now this is going to be her single target Spirit Spender for the summon build. If you're doing Limbo, if you're having your demons out, because it's going to increase your damage on this skill by 5% for each lesser or spitting demon, and 25% extra if Fist of Nastir or Nastir are summoned. And they take 5 command and you only have 8, so that's like a total of 40% extra damage on Soul Cleaving, I'd say, if you have Fist of Nastir and 2 or 3 lesser demons or spitting demons, or any combination of lesser demon, spitting demon. You could have like 1 lesser demon, 2 spitting demons, and a Fist of Nastir out, and you'd gain, that extra damage to Soul Cleaving and have a pretty nice monstrous army behind you. Now, this is a little weaker damage-wise than Rending Swings because it's only 40% boost with that max out there. Whereas Rending Swings is a 50% boost. So, but I don't know. Then you've got to factor in the demons and how much damage they're doing. So it might be pretty solid once it all comes together. All right, next up we've got Step to Me. This is going to be very similar to Nightcrawler's skill where he flashes everybody to him. He just pulls them in. Except she's going to throw out a disc, and where it hits, where it lands, it's going to pull all of those people to you. Now, I can't actually show it too well in here in the test center, but if I was standing here and threw this disc out, they would all teleport right to me, so I could smack them up in melee. And that's going to be a very useful skill. Especially for, it might be pretty cool in PvP. Of course, a lot of people pull the, they go CC immune because of all the different CC effects that you've got going on in PvP. So it might not work too well. Next, we've got Mastery of the Soul Sword. This is going to be, it's going to give you your passive damage increase. So you probably want to max this out on any build, regardless of whether or not you're actually using its active effect, because it's going to give you that damage, that crit rating, that crit damage, and damage reduction 5% when you hit with a melee power. That's probably going to stack with some kind of defense. She got, I think raw damage reduction like this is actually going away with the new way they're doing defense. So that's still confusing me right now, and I'll have to figure that out because there's this new change for defense. But still, 5% damage reduction when you hit with a melee, that'll be nice. And then when you toggle it on, it's going to give you increased 5% damage to melee powers. And it looks like that effect, the active effect, does not increase with points put into the skill. It's also going to cause 7 League Step up here to do 200% additional damage and gain a cooldown. But it will bounce 4 extra times. So let's go ahead and toggle that on. You're doing Mastery of the Soul Sword. And one thing to note about Mastery of the Soul Sword is because it's 3 command reserved, you can use it in conjunction with one of your major demons, either Nastir or the Fist of Nastir, because they take 5 and this takes 3, so you'll have enough. Alright. So it's going to boost all of your melee damage, but it's also going to cause the 7-sided strike to become a real hard-hitting AoE bouncing attack thing. You can see increasing the number of targets, making it hit a lot harder, and it's becoming something that you want to use in your DPS rotation. Probably even on a single target, you'll want to use this, even if there's only one person around. Let's see how long the animation... Like, if there's only one dude... Oh, yeah, no, definitely. If there's only one dude, you just blink to him, hit him once, and nothing else happens. See, just like that. It fits in, and you go right back to meleeing if there's only one dude. So, yeah, you'll definitely want to use that every time it's up, if you use Mastery of the Soul Sword. Alright, so let's move on to the Limbo Tree. This is probably the most exciting tree for me. Yeah, we'll leave them like that. Let's get Dark Pack out here, and then Eternal Servitude. We're going to have to actually go to a different location to show this properly. Alright, Lesser Demon. Undo Fancy, just a little summon. Now, he stays out as long as he lives. Now, I should note that if he dies, let's have him go, yeah. Now, he's got a decent amount of HP, but can you punch him? There we go. There we go. If he dies, then he dies. My command pip goes back, I'm pretty sure. Let me just test this real quick because I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, if he dies, I get my command back, and I can spend it to resummon somebody. But, you know, if you're doing a summoner build, your pets will have a decent amount of HP and shouldn't really be dying too often. So it's not like you're going to be having to resummon them all the time. But here's a Lesser Demon in its full effect if you choose to use all of them. Pretty nice host of summons. One of them's stupid, though. We're just going to call him Steve. I don't know. I couldn't come up with a name for a stupid person. Give me a name for a stupid person. All right. Then we've got the Fist of Mystere is the next skill here, and it's going to summon the Fist of Mystere, and he's got a number of abilities. He's got this leap. He's got an AoE cleave. It looks like, oh wow. His auto attacks cleave based on which arm he uses. That's really cool. That is excellent. And he's got this slam down in the front of him. I really like this summon. He's pretty cool, dude. Alright, now we've got the Spitting Demon, which is going to be same as the Lesser Demon, only they spit. They're going to be ranged attackers. Now their AI still tells them to get into melee range, and I'm not even sure that's a bad thing, because you kind of want them to, like, enemies move around a lot when you're out there fighting, so you kind of want them to chase the enemies a bit. But, you know, they have ranged attacks. You might also want them to, like, stay back and not get in the enemy's face. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure whether them being trained to go up to the enemy's face, even though they have ranged attacks, is a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not 100% certain on that. But that's the Spitting Demon. Next up, we've got Mystere here. Heh, that rhymed. Alright. So it'd be really nice if Mystere would say something along the lines of, you know, reluctantly being commanded to do whatever Magik tells him to. You can see Mystere has a number of ranged attacks that he's doing, and he's also that sweet thing that he does is a jump back. He's at the wall, so you can't really see it, but he'll jump back and try to stay at range. So that's pretty cool. And he's doing this AoE that he keeps up on everybody, and then a big AoE for burst damage, then a line attack is his basic. Alright, that's pretty cool. Alright, and you've seen me using Dark Pact to delete these demons as we go through them, but what that does exactly is it's got a passive effect that increases your summon ally and summon ally damage and summon ally duration, but it can be toggled on to instantly destroy all active summons. Gain benefits based on which summons were active. Limbo demons will give Magik herself 3% health per demon. The Fist of Nastir, if you eat him, will give you the ability to cast Soul Shockwave and deal 200% additional damage. Has a cooldown and a large area of effect. Total defense rating increased by 5%. Alright, so the Fist of Nastir. Let me see exactly. I think I know what this is going to do. If I summon him out and then I eat him, I think I can use... No, I'm really not even... I'm not even sure how I toggle the Soul Shockwave. Oh, wait a minute. Soul Shockwave is over here. It's a skill. It boosts it. Oh, all right. So what you do is you can eat those demons to boost your... Oh my god. That's step to me. Okay. Alright, so if you eat Fist of Nastir, your Soul Shockwave gets boosted quite a bit. You can see that, you know, doing quite a bit of nice damage. I don't know what it looks like normally. It'd be nice if they had, like, different visuals based on whether or not you had eaten the demon or not. Let's see. Soul Shockwave. Oh, it does. Yes, it's much bigger. This is like half of a Soul Shockwave. And then if I summon out Fist of Nastir here and eat him, then we've got the full Shockwave. Much bigger radius, much more damage, and it does gain that cooldown though. So it has a cooldown and a larger area of effect. Alright, so what happens if we eat Nastir? The Limbo Splitter will, if you eat him, or for each Limbo Splitter you eat, you'll gain 1% damage, which could be 8% damage if you had all Limbo Splitters. But probably what you're going to do is use, if you're doing the command spec, what you're going to eat either Fist of Nastir or Nastir himself, and then use either Mastery of the Soul Sword or Eldritch Armor to use that last 3 pips of command there. Let's see, where is... Alright, so now Nastir, if we eat him, it's going to cause Step to me, this one right here, to do 200% additional damage and have a cooldown, cannot be resisted. Oh wow, cannot be resisted. That means bosses could be pulled to you, I believe, and players in PvP, like we talked about earlier, they wouldn't be immune to the pull from Step to me. Even if they were CC immune by getting hit by so many CCs, it will also reduce spirit costs by 10%. Alright, let's have a look. Let's see, first things first, we gotta summon Nastir, and we gotta eat him. And now, when you Step to me... it looks like the disc also flies quite a bit faster than it did before. It doesn't say anything about that. But that disc went out there a little bit faster, it seems. Let me toggle it off and use the skill again. Okay, no, I'm imagining things. It's the same speed. Yeah, it's the same speed. Alright, so now if we eat him, the damage gets boosted, the pull becomes irresistible. You can see the stun there, or at least the stun. I'm not sure about the pull effect, but the stun becomes irresistible. And now, except by target dummies, because target dummies are above and beyond the rules of such things. Alright, but that's really cool. Now, if you were doing this Soul Sword build, you probably want to eat Nastir, maybe? If you're doing like a Magik build, using some of these other skills that we haven't talked about yet, then you might want to eat Fist of Nastir. Alright, so speaking of those other skills... Oh, wait, we've got one left in the tree here. The Eternal Servitude. Now, players of Emma Frost are going to know this skill well. Let's just go to Fisk Tower real quick. And I have no gear, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on this DPS Test Medallion. It's going to give me a little bit of something going on, but I'm going to eat this dude. You can see it works very similar to the way Emma works, except once I kill somebody with that, they aren't out permanently. They get sent to limbo when they die. You know, you do some damage over time, you channel some damage over time, and then you send them to limbo. And you can summon them back out. Summon them back out. Interesting. So, alright, so he will fight. They don't seem to follow you too well. That may be a bug, or it may be intended. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think this is intended to be a permanent pet. It's intended just to, you know, you eat one dude. Oh, no, he's like my permanent... He is permanent pet. It's just he has a cooldown. Summon duration 5 seconds. Okay, alright, I see. How do I get rid of him? Like, let's say I wanted to get rid of the East River dude and have a different summon. How would I do that? That's what I want to know. You may right-click this power in the power tree to permanently dismiss the captured menu, replacing this power with a turn and slip. There you go. Okay, you can just right-click. You can right-click. Okay, now it lied to me. So that is a bug. Either that or user error. I'm not exactly sure which yet, because I have no idea how this skill works. But theoretically, you will be able to right-click this skill in the power tree and say, I don't want that dude anymore, and it'll turn back to eternal servitude, and you'll be able to go capture another dude, and they will be your eternal servant. So that's pretty cool. Alright. And you can see he's got this damage aura thing going on around him, so if you went and got a melee... I'm like shooting off magic orbs, and I don't know how. Alright. We gotta look at some more skills to figure out how I'm shooting off those magic orbs for no reason. Got all these orbs floating around me. What's this even from? I don't know. Alright. Spirit Fangs is going to be our first skill in the magic tree. Let's put all this stuff on the bar here. Alright, Eldritch Armor, put you right there. Alright, so the magic tree starts with Spirit Fangs. This is going to do some mental damage, and the damage increases based on your summon ally damage. So it looks like all of these skills here, Soul Shockwave and Vengeful Spirit, all have that damage boost based on summon ally damage. So if you're doing a Limbo spec, you may want to use these skills over here. I'm not sure. If you're doing a summoner build, then these might be your go-to options. Alright, so it's a ranged area sorcery power, and it's going to apply vulnerability. There you go. It's very nice. The visuals are excellent for this. And it looks like the cone gets wider as it goes out. And you can spam it in succession. Very cool. Alright, now we've got Eldritch Armor. Now this is the alternative to Mastery of the Soul Sword. Makes you a little bit more defensive. It's also your defense passive, so if you need more survivability, you're going to pump some points into here, whatever build you're using. Let me pull this off. Alright. It's going to give you defense. It's going to give you total defense rating and deflect rating. I'm not exactly sure what all these mean as the defense changes. I haven't really looked into them too much, but I'm thinking deflect rating is similar to dodge / parry wrapped it up into one. Not exactly sure. Alright, but it's also going to, when toggled on, increase your deflect rating even more and give you a Thorns effect, mental damage to enemies that hit you. It will also increase Spirit Fangs. That's this one right here. The damage by 200%. Give it a cooldown. And increase the area of effect. Here we go with powered up Spirit Fangs. You got a huge area of effect. It covers pretty much the whole screen, everything in front of you. Now it's a slow moving projectile skill, but it's got pretty much the range of everything in front of you. That's pretty nice. Yeah, ranged magic could be a thing. I don't know. I'd have to see if she's got a ranged basic attack that she would use. Maybe like Soul Shockwave, and then you'd have to go basicless. Would end up being that could be pretty interesting. Then you'd like pop that in every once in a while. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of theory crafting going on in my head right now. Alright, next skill we've got is Soul Blaze here. Empower your Soul Sword to leave a damage over time effect, causing enemies to explode with mystical energy if they are defeated. This make it immune to crowd control. Okay, it buffs you, and it makes you immune to crowd control, increases your damage by 5%, causes your melee attacks to add a damage over time effect to an enemy, and if they die while that damage over time effect is on them, they then explode, doing mental damage to everything around them. This is very cool. Very cool, especially when used in conjunction with 7 League Step. Let me do that, actually. Let me just go to... because I kind of want to see this death effect. Let's go back to Fisk Tower, and we'll probably end up having to could have just gone to Midtown. Alright, so if I kill people, they explode. Very cool. Very cool. Alright. There's just one more look at that. If I kill them, they explode, doing damage to anything around them. Alright. Now let's look at the next skill in the tree. Vampiric Incantation. Cast a brief incantation to slow all enemies in the area and cause your attacks to steal life force from them. Looks like it's just a AoE that you place on the ground. Causes you to gain life back from hitting the enemies. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So you'll just run in. It doesn't do any damage of its own, but it does slow everything that is affected. And then it's got a specialization that you can choose. You've got Amplified Damage. Vampiric Incantation increases all damage magic and her demons deal to effective enemies. This is probably going to be what a lot of people end up going, causing you to gain health and do extra damage to anything affected. I'm not sure how much extra damage. Let's see. Vulnerability 20% extra damage from Magik and her demons. Very nice. Or we've got Weaken. Reduces all damage affected by enemies, so you can reduce their damage by 20%. If you want to do something tanky with Eldritch Armor, then you might be doing the Vampiric Incantation with Weaken on it. Or you've got Confuse. Now this one's probably going to be my preference because I love the chaos of confusion and all that. And confuse all enemies and cause them to deal increased damage to each other, but the buff's duration is halved. Okay, that half duration might make it not so good, because it does make that a debuff duration of 3 seconds instead of 6 seconds, as it is with any of the other stuff. And remember, it does have that extra effect on it to restore health when you hit them, so you kind of want that to be up fairly regularly. Now, it doesn't have a cooldown. It still doesn't have a cooldown, so you could, theoretically, Just keep them confused all the time. Except that guy, because he's immune to confusion. I don't know what's up with him. And these guys seem to be immune to confusion. They're not attacking each other.
You don't scare me.
See these guys, they turn them against their enemies, they just start shooting each other. It's great. Alright, so that's the only specialization she has, and it's for one skill that allows you to change the way that particular skill plays. We've seen a lot of characters with specializations recently, and sometimes they have specializations that change the entire way the character plays. And tell you, hey, you need to use these skills. This one's just going to change the way that particular skill works. And I kind of like that because she's got a lot going on to work with anyway, so worrying about a specialization on top of that might be a little bit intense. Alright, next up we've got the Bone Wall, which is going to stop enemy projectiles and block enemy pathing. It's also going to damage reduction, 100% of your damage reduction. Okay, so it gains your defense and your health. Got it. Damn it, it looks like... Oh, that's cool.
Watch out.
It's still tagged as Wall of Ants, but the animation is excellent for that. It's a wall of bone. Straight from old D2, man. Got that wall of bone. I can just hang out here behind my wall of bone. Nah, it's cool, bro. Y'all just stay over there. I got the hallways blocked off. Y'all ain't never getting to me, man. Ain't never getting to me. Oh, you gonna come around that way? No. Oh, I can only have 2 of them. Oh no, my plan has been foiled. Alright, Soul Shockwave is our next skill in the tree, and we use this a little bit when we were talking about Fist of Nastir. We know that Fist of Nastir will boost Soul Shockwave, but what it's going to do is going to do some mental damage in a line AoE in front of you. There you go. It's not too... the range on it's not too great. I mean, it does go like right up to the... sort of the edge of the screen. I guess it's pretty decent. But considering the range on some of her other skills, it's not amazing. It's not as long range as Spirit Fangs or anything. Alright, then we've got a Vengeful Spirit, and then finally we'll get to the signature. I've been saving this for last because it's amazing, and you guys are gonna go crazy. Alright, Vengeful Spirit. We've killed a few people. Have we killed them with melee? I'm not exactly sure. The way this works is every time you kill somebody with a melee attack, you're going to gain a charge. Then you can use this skill to expend those charges to do a ranged attack. Now, I think that's what these orbs that have been floating around me are the charges here. You can see there's the cone for Vengeful Spirit. Let's see. Yes! Okay, so you can gain a maximum of 5 charges then. That's what that was all about. And if you defeat enemies in melee, so it's skills from your left tree over there, then you can expend these charges to throw out heat-seeking Vengeful Spirits. And you can throw them out anytime. This does not have a cooldown. You can throw them out anytime they're up, but generally you're probably going to want to wait till you've got 5 of them floating around you. Now it does have... What is he doing? Oh man, I thought he was still alive. He's just hanging out. Oh, I'm okay, guys. Alright. Now it does have a cooldown on gaining those charges, so you're not going to gain them immediately. You know, not every kill you get is going to give you that charge, because you got that 1 second cooldown. You kill them too fast, you won't get that charge. But you will gain this pretty frequently, you know, at least once a second if you're, well, not at least, at most once per second. At least, I don't know, if you're in combat with melee attacks, then you're probably gaining this once every second, which means every 5 seconds you'll have this Vengeful Spirit. So I'd estimate probably more of 6 to 8 seconds is your average cooldown on Vengeful Spirit, being able to use it with full bonuses. But that's pretty cool, and something you're going to want to work into your melee DPS rotation. Now, you know that if you're doing some of these skills, you're gaining a cooldown on things like 7 League Step or Step to Me, both which are melee abilities, and that will feed into your single target DPS rotation because those are all about 8-second cooldowns. And then you'll just want to use Vengeful Spirit after you use those. So you use those cooldowns, then Vengeful Spirit to finish it off, send all those spirits flying out. Pretty cool. Alright, now the Otherworldly Nova, and we've got a fresh map to use this on. This is great. Let's go over what it does exactly first. It's going to do some mental damage in a burst AoE. So we'll see. It deals mental damage. It applies a damage over time effect from Soul Blaze. Remember, Soul Blaze does that damage over time effect and then causes enemies to explode when they die. So that's a very strong damage over time effect to apply. Your demon minions deal 100% extra damage for 8 seconds, and you regenerate 30% of your health and spirit. You're probably going to want to use this every time it's on cooldown. Let's go see why. Big, huge nest of enemies, and the entire screen just gets obliterated. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is an excellent signature skill. It's amazing. Huge mental damage when those bolts hit them initially, and then it applies that damage over time effect and the explode on death. Huge amounts of damage from this signature. There's just one more time, and a beautiful animation. Like, what would really put it over the top if you really wanted to take this to the next level. It doesn't need taken to the next level, but have it send out some of these Vengeful Spirits as well, so you've got homing attacks going on. I don't know if you really need to do that, though, because it's pretty amazing as it is. Alright, so one last thing to look at, and that's her ultimate. Now, I want to go back to the training room so that I know that I've got enough enemies to hit with this. Because it could be pretty bad if I went up there and there just weren't any enemies to hit in Fisk Tower anymore. This is Darkchild. This is her ultimate. Become Darkchild, unleashing the full power of your demonic wrath. May Limbo and Earth both bow at your feet. Current rank, physical damage twice per second, damage rating gets boosted, critical damage rating goes up, brutal damage rating goes up, regenerate health per second, gain defense, gain deflect. So you get every relevant stat, just a huge boost to it. It has a 20 second duration on that. I'm not sure what this physical damage twice per second means exactly. Alright, let's have a look. Maybe it puts an aura around you. I wonder if it changes you physically. Here we go. Oh my god, yeah it does. So you got this damage over time effect going on around you. You've got huge boosted stats. Look at this. Look at this. You got this brand new visual skin for Magik. That's crazy. That's crazy. Huge boost to everything you do, an aura around you doing huge amounts of damage. Crazy demon visual effects. I kind of like this ultimate. It's not quite as amazing as what we saw with Kitty Pryde. I guess it might be. It's not... I don't know. That huge... Using all of these soul shockwaves coming out of Kitty Pryde when she got the soul sword, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, that's pretty nice. Huge boost to everything you do. I'm digging that. I'm digging that. Alright guys, that was Magik. I hope you've enjoyed this preview of her skills. Probably running a bit long at this point, as I've sort of been rambling and exploring through all of her skills. So thank you for sticking around if you have made it to the end of the video. For those of you who have made it to the end of the video, let's go ahead and do something special. Blade. Alright, he's the last hero to enter Marvel Heroes. and I've got some keys to give away. If you would like to win Blade, I know this is going to be a little bit weird, so follow me on this, alright? I'm going to give away a Blade key to one random person in the comments of this video. Alright? There's no other criteria than that. Just one random person. You leave a comment on this video, you're entered into a Blade giveaway, which I will draw the winner for on, let's see, what is today? Friday. Let's say Tuesday of next week, alright? That will be when I draw the winner. So that'll give you over the weekend to get a comment in and share this video with any of your friends. Get them a chance to make a comment and get in for a Blade hero giveaway. Now I know it's a little bit weird to do a Blade giveaway on a Magik video, so what I'm going to do is when Magik comes out, if you are a follower on Twitter, then we're also going to have a Magik giveaway. I'm going to try and get that set up for you guys. So, 2 things to enter in to have a chance to win. I hope you guys are enjoying the latest videos, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to try and take a look at this defense change and go over how exactly it works and how it affects, you know, the characters that you're... I don't know, I'm still confused by it. But I'm going to have a look and see if I can figure it out and then make a video to help you guys figure it out. Because that's what I like to do. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take it easy. Have a good one. Peace.